This truly is one of the darkest times in cryptocurrency's history. One of the largest exchanges has completely shut down, locked withdrawals, and hundreds of thousands of people have lost significant sums of money due to this. All of this has resulted in cryptocurrency tumbling down below that previous $17,600 support, heading towards that $13,000 level. But will CPI, which is coming out today, be the saving grace for cryptocurrency and send us back upwards, or trigger a continued crash down to that $13,000 support? Let's find out. Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to be talking about four key things: Bitcoin's price action, are we going to reach a bottom, CPI, and of course FTX. Let's get into it. Now, before we do get started, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. All of that supports the channel. Of course, join our Telegram channel, get updates to all our charts, analysis, information, only the relevant and important charts we post here. We don't just post random stuff for the sake of it. It's all important, all relevant, otherwise it won't be in this channel. Of course, if you do want to join our VIP channel, you can join over 500 members in our VIP channel now, get access to all our trades, updates, analysis, and exclusive stuff in there. Let's get into today's video, and we'll start off like we usually do, talking about the data. So negative 21.22% currently for the month for Bitcoin, looking pretty damn grim, guys. I would say for sure, I haven't seen cryptocurrency in such a dark place before. This is it. This is the darkest I've seen crypto. We've seen the third largest exchange basically crash. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people losing a collective billions and billions of dollars just from withdrawals being not processed. We're seeing other exchanges get a little shady, such as KuCoin. We're seeing a whole lot of stuff going. We saw Terra Luna crash. We saw Celsius go down. We saw 3 Arrows Capital go down. It's been a brutal bear market. It has been a brutal bear market. And I do want to say I'm optimistic for the future and say the worst is behind us, but you just never know in this space, guys. No one expected FTX to crash like this, and no one expected the price action to rapidly crash due to that. In the fact that, you know, talk about Bitcoin 2 weeks ago, no one was talking about FTX crashing. So this is the space, guys. We have to be vigilant, and that is why it's always important. And a lot of people throw shade at me for this. It's always important to talk about potential scenarios in both directions. So you have a game plan, you know what your triggers are, and you can react when it occurs, because we reacted when this crash occurred and we're in a better position because of it. Anyway, volatility spiked, and we've been talking about this for a long time. Volatility was around 1.74, 1.6, 1.5. We're hitting levels of volatility we hadn't seen for 7 years. Very, very low. When we see low volatility, we generally have compression. When we have compression, we generally see big moves. That is what we saw. We saw a big move, volatility skyrocketed, and Bitcoin price crashed, okay? And of course, liquidations were quite high. They're coming down a little bit now. 600 million is still very high though, guys. The price action has started to stabilize in the last hour. We're pushing sideways a little bit more. But that's enough about that, guys. Let's look at the rest of the market, and then we'll come back and take a look at Bitcoin, okay? So DXY, guys, we're finding support. Of course, DXY is in a spot over here that is, it's here and there. It's here and there. Technically speaking, it's looking pretty good. We are at support. We've hit that 110 zone. We're bouncing 110. We're above 109. We're above this uptrending support line. We do have CPI coming out a little bit, and that is why we'll say here and there, because if CPI comes out bad, okay, we'll see with DXY continue upwards. If CPI comes out good for crypto, it will continue downwards. So we're not going to be basing too much on that. But if CPI does come out bad in general, we will see the DXY rise, and we'll see cryptocurrency fall even more. We could see DXY push upwards to its 111 to 111.7 range. It's 2 black lines. Okay, that will be the next resistance point. We'll come back to the total cryptocurrency market cap in a second, but all in all, we did actually break down through our horizontal zone over here, losing that double bottom and dropping all the way down to about 750 billion market cap. Of course, still got a long way to go if this does actually fully play out. It's targeting around 400,000 worst case scenario, but we are optimistic on this channel. We're gonna be looking for points of reversal along the way, and we'll talk about that later in the video. Dow Jones, it was really fluctuating around this level. We broke this higher high over here, but of course the market's turned to the worst. We'll drop back in this trend line. This trend line does extend back to the top of the bear market, essentially breaking through its points. We had a fake out breakout over here. We've had another breakout over here. It doesn't look like it's sustaining. Be very interesting to see what happens. And this drop here, I would assume, is anticipation of CPI. Of course, if CPI comes out bad, we are trying to price that in. If it comes out good, this should continue upwards. and push up to 34,000. Otherwise, if we lose this horizontal support level again, we are looking for a continued crash, okay? 30,000 will probably be our ideal target. Dow Jones, looking pretty much the same, guys, not looking too great over here, finding resistance at that first major point of support that we did need to actually climb back over. Resistance, should I say, pushing back down, not looking ideal over here, not too much to say over there. That is about it, guys, for the total market. Let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. So, looking for an honest, reliable, and accurate exchange that you can trust to trade on, go ahead and sign up to Bitget with the link down below and join myself and all of our other VIP members and other members who trade on Bitget daily. There's a whole range of benefits and features you can actually get by trading on Bitget. These include no government regulations, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the world. There's no KYC, 0% trading fees on spot, massively reduced trading fees on futures, is one of the lowest in the game. And most importantly, access to their protection fund in case the exchange gets hacked. You can actually get reimbursed for your funds, so you can ensure your funds are safe. Now, most importantly, if you do sign up with the link down below, that first link, you'll get access to 2 additional features. These include access to the reward center, where you can get up to $4,163 in rewards, and access to the MegaWhale exclusive referral link, bonus discounts. Every other month we do bonus campaigns. We get up to 10% off your trading fees, or even you get a percentage of your trading fees refunded to your account as USDT. Essentially, you get paid to be on the exchange. That's enough, guys. We'll get back into the video. Where is Bitcoin? Here it is. Okay, let's talk about, there's so much to talk about. It really is so much to talk about. And I hope everyone who've been watching this channel for the last like 4 months, or whatever, 2 months in this horizontal range, whatever it's been, 60, 70 days, took the time, took the effort to input these horizontal levels we've basically been preaching about for so long now. And they weren't random levels. We'll just pull them out of thin air, guys. Like I said in the last video, these are important trigger levels based on historical data that indicated points of reversals or points of continuations. And we saw that. We saw triggers, we saw breakdowns of this 25,000 to 20,272 range, which triggered a collapse into this lower range. We failed to hold here. We collapsed through 18,400, which you would know already was a major trigger for a retest of 17,600. And as we've said already, guys, if we did retest this level, we've said for months, we do not expect a double bottom. We do not expect it to hold. We crashed, okay? We fell downwards. Now, I've got a lot of people thinking, MegaWhale, you said the bottom was 17.6K, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I did. I said the bottom was 17.6K. I bought 17.6K. I was incorrect. We did crash beyond that point. But it's not about whether I was correct or incorrect. It's about what decisions I took, what I told you guys, how we positioned ourselves, and if we made money or lost. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what you say. It's about the results, okay? It's very important. At the end of the day, guys, we bought 18,000, okay? We bought 30% of our capital, 18,000. We sold a 21% profit and rebought equal amounts at 18,600, which put our break-even point at 14,600. We are still at profit on our Bitcoin position, okay? Now, will we continue downwards? Is a chance. And I said if CPI comes out bad, Bitcoin will continue downwards. I'll show you that in a second, okay? And if it does, we do have our targets for that, which we'll be talking about again in just a moment. But just note, guys, a lot of volatility in the market right now, and I definitely don't think entering too soon is a good idea. Definitely wait for CPI. Wait for the data to come out and then decide what you're going to do, okay? Let's get into the overall analysis. So let's go to the daily chart, and this is a really important chart. And the reason why I say that, you know, there is a glimmer of hope for Bitcoin still, because CPI is going to be the thing that determines the direction of the market. Very straightforward. CPI is going to determine the direction for the market. It's going to say, yeah, inflation's worse. It's getting worse, and we're going to have to ramp up these interest rates again, or go heavy on the interest rates, and guess what happens then? Systematic risk ramps up, okay? Interest on debt rates up, okay? People aren't taking money for assets. They need to have they need to hold their cash, pay off their loans. People don't invest, okay? It goes down. The other way around, guys, if CPI comes out good, all right, we're going to see a bounce. We're going to see that try price in the bullish CPI, all right? The bullish CPI being under forecasted. So anything under forecasted, which is, again, anything under 8 for CPI, anything under 6.5 for core is going to be bullish. We should see a bounce. We should see a bounce. How high will this bounce take us? There's a real possibility, guys, we can come and retest this horizontal resistance range on the total cryptocurrency market cap again. It is unlikely. It is definitely possible in terms of market structures, okay? we're going to talk a little bit about what actually we need to see to be bullish again on the macro, but we'll talk about that in a second. But that is what we need to see, I guess, to see any short-term bullishness. We need to see our CPI data coming favorable. We need to see positive CPI to get any glimmer of hope in the market. Otherwise, like we said already, we can potentially see this crash through this low historical trading volume range. You can see how low it is. If we go to 200 on the VRPV, you can see how low trading this range actually is historically. It's a huge gap over here. Huge gap, okay? And this could take us all the way down to its 13,000 support, potentially 12,000, okay? As you can see already, we're starting to build chunks in this VRPV around 16,000, okay? So we can find support within this range at some point. Going off an initial analysis, we have to assume that this is a low volume range and we will fall through it, okay? But since it is a low volume range, if we do have any bursts of volume within this range, we can start to create these new values, which can expand outwards and actually create new base of supports in this range of potential bottoms actually between these 2 points. So it's very important we are aware of potential reversal points and triggers within this range. It's very important we don't just say now, I'm not buying anything until 13K, it's 100% going to 13K, nothing is guaranteed, okay? We have to be aware that if we do see signs of reversals, we have to understand there's a possibility that supports can actually be created, because at the end of the day, guys, every support at some point is created. Every historical support we see in the chart at some point was not a support and it was created and turned into a support. There's nothing saying that can't happen again. So be aware of that. Be aware that just because a chart based on historical data says there's no support in this range and we can go lower, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't create support in this range, which is definitely a possibility, and CPI could be the trigger for that. Now, if I had to say worst case scenario for CPI, if CPI came out bad, I would expect a flash crash down into his range, okay? I'd expect a flash crash down into his range. I'd like to see how the price reacts here. I usually give CPI a few hours to stable out, balance out, price into price action, and see how the trend develops before I enter. And like I said, best case scenario, we'd be looking for a pushback up into this gray box, which is anywhere between 17,600 and potentially even 19,000, okay? Now, if we're talking macro bullish, what would we need to see the price action to be bullish? It goes back to that same thing we're talking about here. We would like to see a two individual 2-day candle closes above the 50 EMA. Two individual 2-day closes above the 50 EMA would signify strength in the market. I would really like to see that before we can signify any strength or trend strength reversing, okay? Currently, it's not looking too good. Of course, we didn't quite follow the 2018 fractal as of yet, but we can still reverse. Who knows, okay? Most of the media targets are, of course, 13 and 11,000, okay? So, let's take a look at, what was it going to be? It was going to be our total cryptocurrency market cap. Here it is here, okay? Total cryptocurrency market cap. So, still looking at this downward trending resistance line, this downward trending resistance line, this diagonal line, is still going to be present no matter what happens. So if we head down to 13,000, which will be about a 300 billion market cap or 400 billion market cap, this diagonal trend line is still going to extend and be present. So I'd be also looking for eventually a break of this downward trending resistance line to signify any sort of continuation upwards in a larger time frame, okay? So although this chart structure, this descending triangle has played out, this diagonal resistance is still going to extend and be very relevant, okay, in the future for Bitcoin, whether it be in the next few weeks, whether it be in a few months, or even, 2 or 3 months from now. This downward diagonal resistance is still going to be a resistance point of great significance, which we do need to break above, which will help signify a reversal point for Bitcoin on the macro chart, okay? Remember, the total cryptocurrency market cap doesn't just tell us Bitcoin, it tells us the total currency, the total collective cryptocurrency market as a general, and when the market is rising, Bitcoin is generally rising too, okay? So, I'm going to leave that there, guys. I think that's enough for today's video. I want to keep today's video nice and short and sharp. For buying Bitcoin, be patient until CPI. Please be patient until CPI. At the end of the day, guys, if you jump in now and it drops another 13%, 14%, you're just going to be sorry, okay? If it pumps another 5-10% here and you buy $20,000 again, it doesn't matter for the long term too much, okay? You should have already accumulated a little bit at the $18,000 range. And of course, we're looking for accumulation lower if that does come, but safe is always better than sorry, okay? Being risky in this market, taking risky gambles is only good when you have the money to spare. I know a lot of people on this channel watching a video probably don't have a lot of money to throw around as risk. If you do, sure. If you're a safe trader, be more patient and safe. Okay, that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and of course tomorrow's video, CPI will be over. CPI will be done and dusted. We'll have a new update tomorrow. Update will be a little bit more detailed, a little more precise. We'll be able to give you a little bit more clear understanding on the trend, the price action and direction. So I hope to see you then. Cheers.